Watch Mary Moriarty's. Moriarty. I don't even. Nobody can pronounce her name properly.
Notice that.
And even in that press conference, the advocates were having. If you're not from here, you probably heard last week. A, B, or C. If you're not from here, you probably heard last week that the Hennepin County Attorney dropped all charges against the Minnesota State Trooper,
Ryan Londregan.
We are not going to talk much about that, except that there were 3 experts that wrote reports saying that his force could be justified if he perceived a threat to his partner or himself. And those experts, all that expert information was available to the county attorney for quite some time. And there's a lot of discussion about what caused her finally to drop the case, but one thing we do know, there's 2 pieces of the puzzle. She hired an attorney firm out of Washington, D.C., and the attorney firm wrote a long report saying the same thing. And the governor was days away from taking the case away from her and assigning it to a different attorney. But we could have a long discussion of that case and whether there was ethical issues. There is an ethical complaint being made now as well.
Against her.
Yeah, well, you remember, the thing about Mary is people forget she was the head public defender. And there were complaints made, again, when she was the head public defender. But, again, I said before, public defenders should not be elected as head prosecutors, right?
Right.
But she was. And the thing is, besides this case, she has a long... Well, they're all everybody from that Roseville one now. It looks like they're at Medicine Lake. You know where that is?
I think that's like Golden Valley, maybe?
Okay. Our group of 300 in Roseville left and it looked like they were going over to Hennepin County. But here's the thing. Mary has a long history of trying to give breaks to criminals. Cases have been taken away from her before to the Attorney General because she was too easy on criminals. So, if you ever want to watch 20 minutes of really informational television, watch Mary Moriarty's. Moriarty. I don't even. Nobody can pronounce her name properly.
Notice that.
And even in that press conference, the advocates were having.
For Mary Moriarty.
Ms. Moriarty.
Mary Moriarty.
And Mary Moriarty.
Watch her press conference. It speaks for itself, right? Well, you watched it with me, right?
Oh, yeah.
It just speaks for itself. The whole thing, not just the news clips. Channel 9 and Channel 5 have the whole thing on their website somewhere. But I have to be honest, I've never seen something so dismaying as that 20-minute press conference. And, when you charge somebody with murder, you damn well better have your case together before you charge the person, right?
Society in general has an expectation not to be charged with crimes unless there's compelling evidence that they committed a crime.
Well, and like she eventually said, they didn't think they could prove the case. But you should make those decisions ahead of time. I mean, we can argue about whether the tactics were, A, B, or C. Let's just face it. Every cop in every situation in the heat of the moment uses different tactics. But the question really is did the officer believe that his partner or himself were in danger of great bodily harm or death? That's the standard that the jury employed in the Yanez case, and that is the law in Minnesota. So if you don't have an expert that can counter that, then you shouldn't bring the case to the level they had it. So anyhow, we're not going to belabor that point, but that happened locally here as well. And now there's been politics with the governor's office and her. She's accused the governor of wanting to pull the case because he's homophobic.
Which,
you saw that, right?
Whatever you may think about Governor Walz,
He's not homophobic.
Homophobic is about the last thing he is.
Yeah, that was the most bizarre thing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So the governor homophobic. I'm still trying to get over that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Governor Walz has issues in terms of whether he's for it, but you can't accuse him of pulling the case because he's homophobic.
It's ridiculous. And as much as we urge you to watch her press conference, I would also urge you to watch the attorney for Trooper Londregan, who wasn't even going to give a press conference until he saw how hers went.
Yeah, Chris Mantle, and he was very powerful and dynamic, and I agree there. But he's not elected. The county attorney is elected by the public. That's why you need to watch it.
Absolutely.
You need to watch your elected officials. God knows you watch me. you know. Oh, we got a party going out there. We're going to check that one out. I don't know if it's... No,
Was that a tongue-in-cheek?
I don't know. Stand by for impact. Stand by for impact.
One of my favorite restaurants in town, by the way, folks, and that looks like where it is at.
You know,
Tongue-in-cheek.
Every restaurant's your favorite. How's it going tonight?